Now, I've been thinking about this topic for a while, but where exactly would XXXTentacion be today if he was alive? I have a couple things to say about this, so yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, XXXTentacion was a rapper who unfortunately lost his life right before reaching that next level of stardom. A lot of people say that he only got big because of his death, and I say his passing just helped his name go to the place he was inevitably gonna reach at the end way quicker. The only difference is, unfortunately, he never got the chance to physically be here while that happened. Where exactly do I think he would have been today though if he was here? First of all, I don't think X ever truly got the credit for how well he was able to create untraditionally good sounding records. The way I see it is, there's always one element of them you appreciate more than anything else on the record. As an example, on Jocelyn Flores, it's the rawness of the track. On Sad, it was the melodies. On Moonlight, it's how well he incorporated his vocals on top of the instrumental while still keeping it smooth as hell. I don't even know what I would call this strength of his that he had, but musically, I think he was one of those young rappers who wasn't afraid of breaking out of the box and just growing with his natural evolution. This was literally a guy who transitioned from screaming his lungs out on a distorted instrumental on some heavy aggressive vibes to sounding angelic as hell on everything after 17. That's why I think with everything he did up until the point of his passing, he laid out the groundwork for everything he was gonna do in the future in terms of the exact direction he was gonna go in. If you ask me, what would have happened is this. He would have rocked the hell out of that Sad and Moonlight sound, gotten multiple hits under his belt that way, maybe incorporated his older and aggressive style with his singing and melodic approach. He would have definitely faced some roadblocks and not completely owned that sound at first, because the way I see it is, his fans are kind of split in the middle. 50% of them got on him extremely early in his underground days, and the rest found him after he passed away. So I think the challenge here for him would have been to blend those two different styles and still be able to satisfy his entire fan base. Everyone listens to an artist for their own individual reasons, but I think when it comes to X, a lot of people seem to have that black and white answer as to why they listen to him. It's either because he's raw and aggressive as hell if you found him in his earlier days, or it's because he has a really great vocal tonality and melodically knows how to create a dope sounding track. This is probably the case because his transition happened kind of fast, to be honest. He went through a lot of different phases in the short amount of time that he was known and recognized by the industry. Something is telling me that he would have stepped outside of his box even more though. I don't know how, because X was kind of unpredictable musically speaking, but I think considering the capabilities that he did have, especially with how talented he was vocally and the fact that he was no stranger to experimenting, we would have seen him not being afraid of maybe missing a couple times, which would have led to him coming up with something really unusual and untraditional, but he would have still succeeded because he would have been persistent and eager enough to want to make it work. That's definitely one thing about X that I really appreciated. He always seemed to own whatever he made, and that's not to say that I think every single song he made was great. As a matter of fact, a lot of them I didn't like, but the ones that I did like always had an extremely strong replay value, and I think this is the reason, because he always had a way of 100% feeding into whatever emotion he was trying to convey on the track. This is actually one skill of his that I think he would have been able to improve so much more if only he would have gotten some more time on this earth. The thing about X is the amount of damage he would have been able to do in the industry with his music is out of this world, man. Clearly he knew how to play towards his strengths. That's why he dropped that underground sound as soon as he transitioned into more of a singer than just a rapper. He was self-aware enough to know that he could do so much more with his artistry instead of being stuck in a box. That's why 17 sounded the way it sounded. That was kind of the first step towards expansion for him. The scary part is just imagine how much he would have advanced by now if he was alive. Like I said earlier, I don't think it would have been a matter of him making all the shots he would have took musically speaking. What I'm personally more interested in is how different would all those shots have looked, if you know what I mean. We know that he was capable of blending 10 different styles on one project. Now think about this, considering the crazy amount of progression that he made in the short amount of time that he was recognized by the industry, how far would have he exactly have came at this point? It's something that crosses my mind constantly whenever I see his name popping up here and there, but at least now I've talked about it, so I've gotten it out of my system. And now I want to ask you, what do you think about this topic? This year, it'll be 2 years ago since XXXTentacion passed away. Where do you think he would have been today if he was alive right now? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.